How you doing? This is a quick manual for the Rotobone V2. This is a custom one that I did, but they're all laid out the same now with volume, octave, and gain knobs there. Up top you have the Y knob, which is the input, 6-way rotary input, and the X, which is the 6-way rotary output. The mini switches, if you can see them here, up here is germanium 2. In the center, it's the high-low power switch, and on the right, germanium 1, meaning that switch is the first transistor. If you were to take the pedal and flip it over on its face, the circuit would be starting on the left here, and so it's the more influential first germ. Anyways, let's give some listens here. Just playing into a clean 5E3. Right now everything's on silicon. That's switch, germ switch left, and power switch to the left. So high power and silicon on both the transistors. And we'll make those rotaries as thin as possible. Up. Low power. Now, depending on where the input and output are, the Y and the X are, it's going to change your octave content. It's going to make it, turn it into a ring mod in some positions, etc. But, use as much as you want. Keep that octave super low if you want. And yes, it's biasing. That's why it gives a little whoosh at the beginning of that turn. So, some droning. And just part of the fun artifacts that this pedal will do. And depending on your pickups, everything, it's, you know how it is, man. Everything's so rig dependent. So let's check out, let's just put those two at 9 o'clock, the input and the output. Here's your roll off, by the way. Let's go with germanium switch 1. So I'm going from silicon to germanium here. That's going from germanium to silicon. Germ voice, and now we'll go with the second transistor to germanium as well. Now go low power and take that octave down farther. booster back to silicon. Let's make it a treble booster. Let's go real thin on the input and the output. Yeah. Back to high power. Let's do some, get more octave content going there. Double silicon. Now that's all just from increasing or decreasing the octave content. You see how much more mid-forward and cleaner it is there with the octave all the way down. The transistors make a big difference. The silicon brings in a lot more octave content and weirdness, of course. You can hear the influence of that second germ. That softens it up. It's real beautiful. So once again, thin. All the way fat input, all the way thin input, or output, I mean. And then the opposite, all the way thin input and all the way fat output. You can hear there's a little hitch in between that. I'll clean that up with the switch itself to make sure that that doesn't disengage in between positions. And low power, bring that down, put them both there, lower the gain a little bit, double germ. It's a completely different beast. Not much else to it. I know it seems intimidating when you're running the pedal at first. The classic, what I call the classic bone sound. Just take that gain down a tiny bit to take the splat out. I see. And hear the difference in the overtones when you're changing that output? It can be whatever you want. That's a pretty low volume right there. Pretty good sustain. It's the Rotobone V2. Thanks.